Hello loyal fans and subscribers, ninamorifanboi here. It's currently November, I don't know the date today, but I know it's about 5 days until the 18th, which would by math mean today's the 13th. But the point is, I was under the impression for the longest time that Sun and Moon was coming out the 28th, and I would have a bit more time to showcase my final battles. But it turns out it's coming out in a few days, so a lot quicker than I expected, a lot faster than I expected. So I'm going to have to either try to upload these, quickly before the release, or if it comes down to it, upload a few of these after, Sun and Moon's release, which I'm not above doing that, and I don't think anyone will mind. I'm sure not too many people will be interested, as I'm sure even now a lot of people aren't interested. Like I mentioned a while back, I ended up getting like 50 subscribers, and I wouldn't be surprised if not too many people were interested in this, just because it's like dragging on at the end of a lifespan. But I do want to get these battles uploaded. We're at battle video number 90 something, in the high 90s, so we might actually get to battle video number 100. But either way, this is a team I built around Mega Alakazam, consisting of Klefki, especially defensive, setting up spikes and like Thunderwave. Rotom, physically defensive, pretty standard Rotom. Life Orb, Excadrill, Sand Rush to go with the Tyranitar, who is Smooth Rock. Choice Banded Azumarill, that's my go-to mon for dealing with Mega Sableye. And of course the Mega Alakazam, who had Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and I believe Dazzling Gleam also for Sableye. This is a battle against Platinum. I battled him multiple times. You should know who he is by now. I'll leave the links to his accounts in the description if you don't, however. He has a team with Swampert, also Rotom, Ferrothorn, Amoonguss, Conkeldurr, and Clefable. So let's just get the battle started. I'm just going to assume the Clefable is unaware because, the running gag that Platinum likes unaware Clefable. I lead with my Klefki, he leads with his Clefable. So nice Clef fairies on the field. I go for spikes right away, as he goes for Fire Blast right away, blasting me with fire. Doesn't quite do half though, so I can stay in and get up at least one more layer of spikes, possibly two. As there's my other layer. He goes for Fire Blast again. One more will knock me out, so I'm not sure what I'll do here. I might switch out, or I might opt to get up that final layer. It's been a long time since I've had this battle. I really don't remember. Looks like I went for that final layer as he goes for Fire Blast again and actually misses, so I'm allowed to keep my Klefki. So, can't really say anything there as I go for the Thunder Wave on the Clefable. But he breaks through paralysis and connects his Fire Blast and knocks me out, so I think at this point I didn't know that Platinum liked using unaware Clefable, so another status probably would have been better on this. Like Toxic would have been nice to wear it down. But I go into my Excadrill thinking I would threaten him out with the Iron Head, but yeah, I remember this now. He actually stayed in and went for Fire Blast. Fortunately, I doubled out to my Tyranitar, probably predicting something like Ferrothorn, and my Tyranitar actually, if memory serves, has Fire Blast, which I would have, gone for on that Ferrothorn. But now I can't really do much, so I'll probably... Do I have Stealth Rock on this Tyranitar? I bet I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, so there's that. As he'll probably just go for Moonblast, trying to get some damage. There it is. So now I have all three layers of spikes and rocks up on his field. So that's, great. I can't remember if he has a Spinner or Defogger on his team, even though I just went over it. Wow. Here I'm going to withdraw and go out to my Excadrill once again. since he didn't switch out before, I'm probably just going to go for Iron Head since I'm figuring he's not afraid of it. And at this point, with all the hazards up, even if he does switch out, I'm expecting the Iron Head plus Earthquake to be able to knock out the incoming Ferrothorn if he does go to it, which of course he does this time as I stay in. Never fails. But like I also mentioned, all this hazard damage is going to be really beneficial. And I did just go for the safe Iron Head, but as you'll see, that actually didn't do a whole lot. So I don't know. I am being worn down with my Life Orb and his Rocky Helmet and his Iron Barbs. So I'll only have one more hit. So here's this Earthquake, but this should be able to knock it out. Yeah, down goes the Ferrothorn, so I don't even have to, hit a Fire Blast against it. Would have been nice if I was able to do that, but wasn't the case because he didn't switch out when the first times, and I didn't think he would the second time, but he did. But it doesn't matter because he brings in this Conkeldurr who will probably just be able to Mach Punch me to death. Yeah, unfortunate. But I didn't really have a switch into Conkeldurr had he wanted to go for a knockoff on well, I don't really have a switch in at all. He's actually a Flame Orb Conkeldurr. That's pretty cool. You don't see that every day. Here he withdraws Conkeldurr. Goes out to Clefable, but with all this hazard damage, Clefable is not a switch in. And the fact that his Conkeldurr actually was Flame Orb instead of Assault Vest, I think that made my mind even... That made, what was it? I think that made my decision to go into Alakazam, because I'm not sure a Mega Alakazam Psychic would have been able to knock out a Conkeldurr from full if it had Assault Vest. But as you can see, that Psychic almost O-code the Clefable, which is amazing. Gonna go for it again and proceed to knock out the Clefable. The hazards didn't really matter in that case because it was a 2-hit KO regardless. But as you can see, now he goes out to this Swampert, who I can't knock out from this range, so I'm going to withdraw. Go out to my my Rotom. Should be able to tank hits, as he's actually Mega Swampert. I probably should have noticed that and, mentioned it at Team Preview, but I completely forgot. As he goes for Earthquake, so nice in levitation with Rotom. As I just burned the Swampert. Not sure why he stayed in. Looks like he went for Rock Slide, which shouldn't do anything, especially after being burnt. Nah. So now I can probably freely just go for Hydro Pump a few times. Or maybe even once we'll knock it out after burn. Because it looks like he withdraws, so that's cool too. I mean, Amoonguss comes in, so it's not really quote-unquote cool. But at least I'll be able to potentially burn this thing. There's the Hydro. Does a respectable amount, not even gonna lie. But at this point, his Amoonguss is either going to be able to knock out my Rotom or put something to sleep. Looks like I Volt Switch instead of trying to burn it. I guess saving this for that Swampert maybe? Even though, yeah, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. But now I'm going to go out to my Tyranitar, it looks like. Get up the sand, get a little Spadef boost, as that's my designated sleep fodder, it looks like. At this point, I can go out to... I'm not sure. Nothing really wants to come in on a Giga Drain if he has that. Who will it be? Looks like my Mega Alakazam. I mean, it'll take it, but it's still a decent hit. I do have Regenerator though, so if I switch out, I will be getting health back, which would be nice. But at this point, this Amoonguss is definitely in range of Psychic, And I don't believe he has a dark type on his team that he can even switch to, so this Psychic is going to kill something. As he goes out to Gimme Yo Pants, the Rotom Wash. This should easily die to 2 Psychics. Or 1 if I get a crit. But the point being 2 would have been enough to knock him out anyway. He might have been Scarfed though, I don't know. If it was, that's pretty unfortunate for him, but I can't do anything about it. As he goes into Swampert, and with the hazards, he's definitely in range of Psychic. So, down goes Swampert, another completely unnecessary crit. As the sand is wearing down my Zam. Enough to the point where Conk's Mach Punch might be able to knock me out. I'm not sure. Looks like he goes for it, and oh yeah, I think, yep, he got a crit. I remember that. I calced it, and I don't think it was able to knock me out, but he got a crit, and that really put me in the back, because now I don't really have anything for his Amoonguss. And I had Regenerator, so I should have switched, and I remember kicking myself for not doing it, but I really didn't think he would get a crit right there and knock me out. But I guess those 2 crits I got in the previous 2 turns, despite being completely pointless, that was all the justification. He needed to receive a crit right then and there, which, like I said, is going to be an issue because now I don't really have anything to deal with this Amoonguss, so I'll have to burn it, it looks like. Go out to my Rotom, take half from a Giga Drain. And maybe after these residual effects we can see what happens next. As I go for Will-O-Wisp, burn the Amoonguss, so it will be taking residual, so that's good. As it goes for Giga Drain, knocks me down to 3 hit points. And at this point I'll probably just, I don't even know, I might Volt Switch, or I might Hydro for a little more damage than Volt Switch would deal. That probably makes more sense. Oh, Pain Split, right. Why did I forget about Pain Split? That recovers a lot of health. As he goes for Sludge Bomb. Doesn't poison me, which is good. So I'm going to be able to, wear this thing down even more. With, as I said, probably a Hydro Pump. Because I don't believe a Pain Split will do anything at this point. Not really. But he does Giga Drain right here. Gonna recover quite a bit from my Rotom. Gets another crit that didn't matter. Rotom goes down. He's at about 40% after burn, should be. Gonna go out to my Azumarill here, not sure why. I guess Waterfall flinches were the play. Unless he's in range. Ooh, he's almost in range. But he goes for Sludge Bomb instead of Giga Drain, which is good for me because he doesn't recover anything. So, he might actually die to the burn right here. Looks like he does, so that's good. Oh, and I guess that's the end of the battle. I still had Tyranitar that was asleep, so I could have maybe got up the sand and worn him down that way. And I did have Fire Blast, as I mentioned, so it wasn't all bad at that point, but I still, after losing Zam, that was kind of an uphill battle that I still managed to, emerge victorious. So, good game, Platinum. I have 2 more battles with this team. Hopefully you're looking forward to them. Either way, thank you for watching and have a good day.